You know, got my shop all set. I'm ready to start working, brought in my equipment. You know, when you start equipping your shop, one of the things you're going to need a good welder. You can do so many things with a welder. Like, for example, I'm building this stop for a friend's machine. It's a guide stop. I built this welding table. And you know, welders don't have to be really expensive. I did some shopping, a lot of shopping. I chose this Eastwood MiG 175. This is a great piece of equipment. The price is right. You get the welder complete, nice torch, you get your ground wire. They even send you a little handheld helmet, and it's loaded with everything. You get the regulator. All you need to do is take it out of the box, follow the instructions and assemble it, and get a gas bottle. When you're using steel, welding steel, you got the argon CO2 mix bottle. Here's one of the benefits of this machine. Included in the price and with the machine, we have an aluminum spool gun. Okay, plugs right into the front of the machine. You flip a switch, change your bottle to pure argon, and you're ready to weld aluminum. Well, let's take a quick look at this thing. Now, you got your on-off switch, you got your arc volts, and you got your wire speed. If you're not a great welder and you want to know how to do this, if you haven't had a lot of practice, right inside the welder, on the door, they have a little chart. It shows you your shielding gas, your welding wire thickness. By the way, you can see this comes with a roll of wire, nice mil-spec wire. And you just go down the chart and it tells you the thickness of the steel, what your settings are for your arc volts and your wire speed. There's really nothing to it. Let me show you how to go ahead and change this gun over to make sure you can put on your spool gun. Make sure your machine's off, take your ground off of here. We'll unplug this. There's a little thumb screw in here. You'll cut your wire. It's very simple. Nothing to it. You know, I'm not the aluminum welder of the earth, but a little bit of practice. Make sure the aluminum's clean. You get all the oxidation off it. With this spool gun, you'll be able to weld those aluminum projects that you've been wanting to do for a long time. You know, this Eastwood 175 MiG is a great product and at the right price. They also make all kinds of great equipment. Let me show you a couple of things I have over here. All right, now, what I've got here is Eastwood's dual master blaster. 2 blast units in one. It's well made, all powder-coated tanks. And up here, here's what separates this from the pack. You've got 2 lines coming in. The red is the aggressive abrasive. Over here, you have soda in this tank. So what you can do if you're going to strip fine paint off of soft items, you know, paint that you don't want to hurt chrome or glass or anything like that, you open this valve, you open your dead man, and you're going to get soda. That does a great job. If you need to get more aggressive, turn this off, turn that valve on, and now you get the aggressive media for taking heavy rust, scale, corrosion, grime off of chassis and so on. But you can also blend. You can get an infinite mixture. You just set it the way you want. So no matter what you're stripping, you have just the right combination of aggressive blast and soda blast to get the job done. And of course, you know, what you want to do is make sure you shut all your valves off. Be safe. Wear a regulator. With the system, you get a hood, you get consumables, and if you look right here, it even comes with a dryer. Now, it's important that you have dry air going into these tanks, particularly with the baking soda. So they have a dryer right there. But if you look at where I've got my airline hooked up, I'm hooked up here. This is a 4-stage dryer from Eastwood. You know, you spend a lot of time prepping a car for paint, prepping a chassis. You've got everything right. If you start shooting and you get debris out of your compressor, oil, moisture, particles, you ruin a paint job. Invest in a good dryer. This has got a pressure regulator with a gauge, a 2-stage filter. This takes up to 40 microns of particles, pulls them out, any of the oil in the compressor. Then we go into a coalescing filter. This takes out to 1/100th of a micron, gets all that oil and so on out of there. Then we move into a 2-quart desiccant filter. And of course, this removes the moisture and any aerosol oils. So if you have all of these together combined, they will remove 99.97% of the moisture, the oil, and the debris. So what comes out of your airline is just pure air. It's great for a paint job. So don't skimp on a dryer. Get a good dryer. They got all kinds of combinations you can buy from Eastwood. And of course, if you're going to be doing this kind of restoration stuff or building a hot rod, projects like that, you're going to need some metal fab equipment. They got some great stuff. Let me show you a couple of units I got. You always have occasion to bend tubing, you know. Here's a piece of tubing that I bent. If you're going to make chassis, you're going to make roll bars, you're going to do any of that stuff, you've got to have a tubing bender. And this is a really good tubing bender from Eastwood. Now this will bend tubing 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 1.625, an 1 3/4 inch, even chrome moly from wall thicknesses of 49 thousandths up to 85 thousandths. You chuck it in there, and this comes with all the dies, by the way. And all you do, put your tube in here, it'll go up to 60 degrees. And it makes real short work. You can see how nice it bent in this tubing. Again, this is a great piece you can have around your shop for occasional building. Anything you want to make that involves the tubing, you can get nice bends that doesn't kink them. It's a great product. You know, when it comes to making some really special parts you can't get, like this. You know, you're making a dog leg, a door edge, a trunk. This started off as a flat piece of steel. It was about 1 3/4 inches wide. Put it in a brake, pushed it into a 90. To make these inside and outside curves like this, you need a shrinker, stretcher combination. Here's a great setup from Eastwood. Again, here's the flat, straight steel we had. To put a curve like this, put it right in the jaws of the shrinker, and you just work at it a little bit at a time. And what these jaws do, they're pulling that metal together. You work it back and forth, with a little bit of practice. Before you know it, you get exactly a nice, smooth curve you like. You can weld pieces together. If you go too much and you need to open it up, you put it in the stretcher. If you want to make a curve the other way, again, use the stretcher jaws. These are real easy. You got a nice mounting plate. Put it on a nice little table, and you'll be fabricating the parts you need to complete your project. Now, when you're doing restoration work and you want to save all those period correct clamps, brackets, hardware, special nuts and bolts, you want to get the rust off them and the scale and so on, here's a heavy-duty vibratory tumbler. You got a media in it. You just put the parts in there, and you're going to run about 30% parts to 70% media. You can reclaim all those parts, get them ready for paint or plating, whatever you're going to do. All you have to do is put your wing nut on, tighten it down, and of course, just turn it on, and this will work while you're doing other work. And Eastwood's got all kinds of different abrasives. Now, this is the heavy-duty one. It's got another bucket you can put on top of it. If you look at this media, it's called Green Pyramid. That's for polishing parts. These really do a great job. Now, looking at the catalog, Eastwood says powder coating paradise. You know, if you want to do some powder coating at home, they got a nice dual voltage powder coating system. In fact, they have everything you need, the curing lamps. They even sell the powder paint. And this is a very nice gun. You can see, you got everything you need to get the instructions with it. As you know, powder coating is a great way to get parts coated and looking good. It's much tougher than paint, doesn't scratch. And you can do this yourself at home. Now, if you're going to need compressed air, you want to make sure that you got your shop plumbed. Don't use PVC. It's dangerous. It shatters. They got a complete small garage system, and you can get components to add onto it. This is a great setup. What you get is a big roll, 100 feet of this tubing, and of course, you get 2 compressed air outlets. And you use these like drops. So they're on the wall. They look just like an electrical outlet. And you get a compressor manifold. And you get all the fittings, everything you need to plumb your garage and make it right. And you can get individual components if you want to expand. It's a great way to go. And again, you stay away from that dangerous PVC tubing, which, you know, it's cheap. You can get it at the box stores. But the stuff shatters and it's not good for air. Now, they got a great catalog. Everything you need to buff, grind, metalwork, painting, powder coating, spray guns. Just log on to eastwood.com or call their toll-free number. You can get a catalog or you can shop right online. It's a great way to set up your shop so you can complete your projects. I got a little cleanup to do, then I'm going to get to work. Thanks for watching.